tutorial about Windows 95 server, you got the job, right? I hope this fucking idiot knows how to Google how to create a fucking group policy.
We were talking about. And this goes back to this work of Atuft and Susskind, right, who said that the fundamental degrees of freedom of quantum gravity should live at the spatial boundary. And so here in ADS, that's very explicit because, you can think of it like a can of soup. So, we're living in the soup, right, in the center, we throw things out.
Like, fuck, you could learn to make coffee or weld in your backyard. Boom, now you're a boiler maker earning fucking $2,500 a month. Like, anyone can do that, right? Like, the job, when you apply to it, it tells you what they want, and you can just Google it. And congratulations, you got the job because you happen to fucking be the same age as someone else that works there, or you're a woman, or you're a man that just fits a criteria, or a person that just fits the criteria. That's just how it works. Now, all of a sudden, you're an engineer now. You didn't even fucking study to become an engineer, bro. Like, what the? Now you're an engineer. That's just what life's like.
So, we think we're living in the soup, but really, the fundamental description of the system is just living in the milk
space. We don't talk about that. Let the video go on.
Which, okay, we still don't understand quantum field theory perfectly well, but we understand it much better than we understand quantum gravity. So it's saying that this mysterious thing, quantum gravity with black holes and the information problem and everything, is just equal to good old quantum field theory living at the boundary.
And the key thing there is that this boundary theory itself does not have gravity. So it's not quantum gravity in terms of quantum gravity.
Exactly.
Quantum gravity in the soup being described in terms of a non-gravitational quantum conformal theory on the tin can, the boundary of the soup. And
it's not. It's just everything's moving so constant that there is no gravity. That's my opinion of what like space is, right?
The audience completely understands. This means that any process that happens in the soup, in the interior, has an equally valid but distinct description in terms of processes that happen on the boundary on the can.
All right, yeah. Okay.
So that's exactly right. And so the way that I like to say that is that in ADS CFT, the gravitational space is emergent. Because if you look at the fundamental description of the system, it's just this quantum field theory in the can.
If he doesn't mention de Sitter space, though, then I wouldn't take his
no independent degrees of freedom
information
behind the black hole horizon. It's all just these boundary degrees of freedom.
That's right.
And so it's sort of radically non-local from the point of view of the gravity theory. And this is
the idea of that is that, let's just say, even though we have a multiplex grid, three-dimensional space, all right, but there's up and down, left and right, and sideways, right? That if we have a point A and a point B, that point between point A and point B, okay, that then will either be anti-de Sitter space or de Sitter space, okay, for example.
This is why it may teach us about the non-locality which is needed to solve Hawking's problem. It seems like even more non-locality, right? Just everything is at the boundary. Yeah. And so as soon as we say that,
so it has a boundary, right?
We see the path.
So it has a geometry, right? It has a boundary, right? It has a geometry.